Good morning and welcome to today's webinar where we're going to be looking at our monthly content planning for March, which is the upcoming month. So welcome everyone, it's lovely to have you here. I'm going to jump in and get started. So hopefully you've all got the workbook handy and printed out and ready to go, and make sure that you're kind of sitting in a nice quiet space so you can concentrate on this. So a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Today's webinar is recorded and the recording is sent to you via Business Station. So if you haven't received the recording, please contact them directly as they retain it. It is not me that holds the recording. As I mentioned, you should have a workbook. I've popped that in the chat for everybody. And with the workbook, it's best if you print it out so you can work. It's a lot easier that way. But if you don't want to use the paper, have it handy and you can just refer to it using a notebook. If you do have some questions, please note, because today is a webinar, the format is slightly different. I haven't got my microphone up close, but hopefully that's a bit better. Because today's session is a webinar rather than a workshop, it's not an interactive Zoom, so you can only participate by chatting in the chat section. So if you do have questions, please pop them in there and I'll respond to them. If you'd like to chat anonymously, you can send it to just me and you can ask your question that way as well. So if you haven't met me before, my name is Sarah Thompson and I'm the owner and founder of Online Social Butterfly. I've been a specialist advisor and trainer with Business Station for the last 3 years, working on the Digital Solutions Program, which was previously called ASBAS. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about how you can work with me, I'll let you know at the end of today's webinar. I won't read out all my qualifications and things, but I've been working in digital marketing for over 10 years and I've got a total of 25 years of marketing and communications experience. So this is my thing. This is one of my favorite webinars that I present every month because it's something that I do myself in my own business to make sure that I'm ready to go for the month ahead. And I've already done next month, so I'm pretty excited because I'm focused all on Facebook ads and I'm running a boot camp. So my content's very much focused on that, which is super exciting. So to start off with, what we're going to do is we're going to start on page 1 of the workbook. Now, on that workbook, I like to review the month that we've just had. And it's a really great idea to try and do this on a monthly basis. I actually keep an Excel spreadsheet that has my monthly stats tracker because I like to know all my numbers. Yes, there are elements of numbers which are a vanity metric, but there are also elements of numbers that are really important to our business in that they tell us if people are following us and if things are growing. And I always think when my numbers, are increasing, it means that my audience is really excited to be following me. So I think it's a key thing. So what I would like you to do is on the worksheet, consider your total fans. You can total up, like do a tally up of your total posts. You can go to stories and reels. Now, in your Facebook page, so it's really easy to find the data on your Instagram because you just go to your Instagram profile and there's a little button there that says Insights. So that's nice and easy. On your Facebook page, I've got the instructions on how you get there. If you are using Meta Business Suite, it's really easy to find them in there as well. So hopefully you'll find that helpful. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes for that task. So during that time, I'm going to have my microphone turned off and my video turned off to allow you to concentrate. But if you do have questions, remember to pop them in the chat. So I'm going to pop the timer up now and we're going to get started on the first activity. Okay, so hopefully you managed to do that. Now, I did have someone ask me the question and just wanted to reiterate. When you're totaling total posts, or when you're adding up total posts and total stories and total reels, you have to do it manually. And one of my favorite places, or the easiest places to do that, is in Meta Business Suite. And I go to the planner menu on there. So that's definitely an easier way to do that. If you're like me, I just had a look while I was waiting then. And I seem to post about 2 or 3 times a day. So that's a lot. And so it's going to be a lot for me to add up. So hopefully you've managed to get through the adding up component okay. Now, this section here is probably the most important part of what we're going to do today, because this is really how I do my social media and have done for a very long time. And I find it to be highly effective. What you want to do with your social media is focus in on one topic or one theme or one activity or one thing that you would like to sell. Now, the problem with what we do in our business, if you're like me, I can sell. So I could sell like the digital solutions advisories, all of my workshops and webinars that I run through digital solutions. I also have 5 online courses. And in my Facebook group, I run 3 free classes a month. Now, if I was to try and talk about all of those in a month, because of social media, people don't see all of your posts. What's going to happen is they're going to miss a good amount of your content. And so they're going to get a scattering of messages and it's going to feel very overwhelming. And they're not really going to have any idea what it is you want them to do. Okay, so we want to be very single-minded in our approach to that. So next month for March, I've got a Facebook ads bootcamp, 5-day bootcamp that I'm running at the end of March. So all of March, all I will be talking about is Facebook ads and the bootcamp that I would like people to buy into. So that is going to be my focus for the month. So I want you to think about what one thing or theme or concept would you like to be focusing on the month of March. I'm going to give you 5 minutes on the counter to do that. So remember, if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. Okay, so that brings us to the end of that 5 minutes, and hopefully that's given you some time to go through the questions that are on page 2 of the workbook. So we're now going to be moving on to page 3, and we've got 4 questions here, but what I want to do is go through one at a time, and I'll put the timer on for each one. So the first question is, what does someone need to know before they buy from you? So think about, who are you? Why are you different? And this is really, really key in terms of answering this question in relation to what does your business offer that's unique and puts you in a position? So this is around things like maybe it's because I like working with women, or maybe it's because I have lots of qualifications or lots of experience, or what are those things that make you unique and special? So let's put the timer on and let's get your answer in question number 1. Leanne, I'm just going to answer your question here. It's a bit quicker than me typing. So if you sell bridal and wedding finishing touches, I guess you need to think about, how do you sell them? Like, can people come and touch and feel them, or is it all via a website? If you can pop your answer in the chat, that would help. Via our website. So I guess that what you want to focus in on is if you're based in Australia and your products are shipped from Australia, that's a massive benefit, okay? Because often when we look at things like eBay and Amazon, things are drop shipped from China, and with things the way they are at the moment, that shipping time can be really difficult for people. So one of the key things is that you're an Australian-based business and that you ship within Australia, okay? So those are 2 reasons why I would buy from you and not somebody else. And the other reasons are behind your products and what is unique and special about them. So I guess some good things to think about, because I don't know your business super well, would be with your, like, what are your returns and money back guarantee, those kind of things. What's like your returns policy? What's your shipping policy? And also, do you offer people the ability to like chat to you on the website like an actual human being? Can they interact with you and get more feedback? So that's a whole lot of benefits of your website. And then talk to me about the products. How do you source them? What are the materials that they're made from? Those kind of things. So I'm hoping that's giving you lots of inspiration for question number 1. I'm going to shush so you can try and write some of those down, Leanne. I hope that helped. Okay, so we're now going to have a look at question number 2. Why do they need to buy, and what problem does it solve? So remember that people will tell us very superficial problems, okay? So if people want to come and work with me to learn Facebook ads, they will tell me things like, I just want to be better at ads. I just need a bit of clarity. And most people will say things like that. But in truth, what is like keeping them awake at night with worry is that they don't know how to do ads and they're really embarrassed. They are worried about spending money and not sure they're going to get any return on their investment. So those are the things keeping them awake at night. So I want you to have a think about the problems that your business solves. And remember, if you're in a positive space like you, Leanne, where you're selling bridal wear, the problem that it solves for the bride is we want things to be easy for her and we want it to be seamless. So things around fast shipping, express shipping, reliable Australian-based business are the kind of things you want to put down here. So I'm going to put the timer up again and give you 4 minutes to work on that. Oops, sorry. Oh, what did that just do? Jumped pages. All right, apologies. There we go. Okay. We're going to move on to question 3 now, and this is the outcome. So once people have purchased your product and service and hopefully used it successfully, I want you to think about, how does that feel like? What does success look like on the other end of that? So Leanne, I'm going to use you as an example again, because if I've just purchased my beautiful bridal accessories and I'm all excited and they arrive in the mail, how do I want to feel when I open that? I want to feel excited. I want to feel really happy that things have been delivered according to my expectations. And I also want to feel like this has been a nice, seamless process, because remember, I'm quite stressed out. So I want you to think about those other terms that women will feel at the end of this. Okay, so I'm just going to pop my timer on and give you 4 minutes for this. Okay, So we're going to move on to the final question, which is the objections that people have when it comes to pricing. Now, these are always, they're always pricing and time typically that people object to. So I don't have the money or I don't have the time. So I want you to think about if someone says that, how do you respond to that? And how could you write a post that would respond to that? So I'm going to give you 4 minutes to think about what are the objections that people have and how can you respond to them? Because that's the most important thing. I'll pop the timer on for you. And away we go. Okay, so that brings us to page 3 of our workbook, all completed now, which is super cool. And we're going to jump onto the next page where we're on page 4 of our workbook now. And what you're going to be looking at is 4 ideas for posts. And as you get good at writing posts, you can actually mix and match these. But for now, what I want you to do, we're going to take 4 minutes for each question. I would like you to think about, first of all, with testimonials, these will directly relate to the theme or the product or service that you're focusing in on next month. So with that theme, I want you to have a look on your Google and Facebook reviews to see if you've got any, and see if anyone's just sent you like a little email or something like that. So that's your first task, is to go and have a look and find some testimonials. I'll pop your timer on, so you've got 4 minutes for this activity. Okay, so hopefully you found some great testimonials to match up with your theme for the month of March. Our next idea prompt is some behind the scenes, and this is where I want you to think about what people are interested in seeing. So if you have a physical product or service, do not underestimate how much people love to see boxing and unboxing, so the process of you packing orders. It can be things like you going to the post office. If you have a service-based business like me, you can do some videos that show you at work at your desk. So I'm going to give you 4 minutes to write down some ideas. Okay, so that brings us to the end of question 2. And idea number 3 is all about quick tips. Now, I love quick tips because I like sharing things that give people an immediate result. So think about some tips that you know about your audience. If your audience is brides, what are some quick tips that are going to help them? So it might be thinking about some timelines for them in terms of ordering their product. It might be about some things that might make their life easy. It doesn't have to be directly related to your business. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to hit those quick tips. Okay, so for our final idea for a post, we're going to think about some long posts. Now, you might only need 1 or 2 of these a month, but this is where you could, if you already blog or vlog in your business, this will work perfectly well. But I want you to think about what could you share that would be a really long post, like giving lots of ideas or sharing an opinion or giving, a roundup of something. So I'm going to pop the timer on for 4 minutes. Okay, so that brings us to the end of page 4 of our workbook. I'm mindful of time that we're kind of running up against it. So on page 5 of the workbook, we've got some broad themes that might be relevant to you and your audience. So I'm just going to let you read through page 5 of the workbook, and I'm just going to give you 1 minute to kind of just go, do any of those feel like they're relevant to my business and to my audience? And do any of them feel like my audience would like to talk about that? So I'm just going to give you a quick minute to have a whiz through of those. Okay, so hopefully that's given you lots of ideas and inspiration in terms of some daily posts or themes for the month that you might like to use. So moving forward, let's talk about how you're going to use this plan, because it's really, really important. Ideally, what you've now got is a whole bunch of great ideas for content and posts. So if you had time after today's webinar and you could spend, say, an hour actually writing some posts, you could get them written and scheduled quite quickly. But if you don't, I want you to think about maybe sitting down once a week and writing the posts from this plan. Or if you sit down each morning and you're not sure what to write, this should give you plenty of inspiration. So you're no longer sitting there worrying about what it is that you need to write on your socials every day. Now, moving forward, I just want to talk to you briefly about the Digital Solutions Program, which is what today's webinar is presented to you under, and that's why it's free. So this program is funded by the federal government, and it provides support to small business owners just like yourself. Obviously, because it's a digital program, the areas that we support are across 4 key digital solutions areas. And for $44, you can access 7 hours of personalised mentorship through the program. Now, to be eligible, you must meet the following criteria. You must have an ABN registered in WA, Queensland or the Northern Territory. You have to be running a for-profit business, so not a charity or a not-for-profit. And you have to have less than 20 full-time employees. Now, if that is you and you would like to apply, there's a link there on the page that you can follow. If you simply type Business Station into Google and go to their website, the Digital Solutions Program will appear on the home page. Now, if you'd like to work with me as your specialist advisor, my name was Sarah Thompson. And when you apply through the program on the online, please pop my name in as your preferred advisor. If you're not familiar with my areas of expertise, as well as loving content, I'm an expert in Instagram marketing, Facebook and Instagram ads, Canva and content creation. So if you'd like to spend some time with me through the program, the $44 is heavily subsidized and I would love to work with you. So I hope you have enjoyed today and I'll look forward to seeing you again, hopefully next month, so we can plan out your content. So have a great day.